Welcome to Real Blue. I'm Stacey Brewer, and today I'm discussing a film that had my heart racing and my mind reflecting. And quite frankly, it also had me reaching for something light and cheerful afterwards. I'm talking about 28 years later, the long awaited continuation of the 28 Days and 28 Weeks saga. Now, this isn't your typical zombie thriller. It's cerebral, emotional, and haunting in a way that goes beyond gore. It's the kind of film that doesn't just try to scare you, I feel it wants to say something. So let's talk about it. Now, at its core, 28 years later is about survival, but not just survival of the body. It's about the survival of identity, family, morality, and even love. And yes, it's still terrifying, but this film isn't just asking, can we survive the infected? It's asking, can we survive the choices we make in the face of hopelessness? Now, one thing that immediately stood out to me was the contrast between chaos and normalcy. Early on, we witnessed a disturbing scene of complete horror, children becoming infected, violence erupting, and right before this scene, they were watching and enjoying a peaceful moment with cartoons. Now, the juxtaposition is jarring and purposeful, I feel. It reminds us that even in disaster, people try to cling to the illusion of normal life. In fact, there's a quote from a desperate father during this scene, and he's telling his child to have faith. And the child replies, "Father, why have thou forsaken me?" It hits hard and it echoes throughout the film. Now, hear this quote as well. Fail we may, but go we must. There's a strong through line about parenting with fatherhood and motherhood and how they differ. Now, with fatherhood, it can mean raising a child when the world is no longer safe. Jamie, the father, brings his son Spike into danger in what's framed as a coming of age ritual. His reasoning, at some point, even a child must learn. There's a scene where Jamie forces Spike to look at an infected individual, and he says, "There are people suffering, but that's not the lesson. Now, off it." Brutal and complex, it kills the morality of survival. Are we protecting children or preparing them to be emotionally numb or emotionally cruel? Now, historically, men prepared their sons for war, for work, or for the hardness of life just in general. We see flashes of this theme in the film. Young men being trained, stepping into manhood by force and not necessarily by choice. That legacy can indeed carry heavy weight. Now, in contrast to Jamie's hardened exterior, you have Isla, the mother. She's full of quiet resistance and deep love. She represents the soul of this film, in my opinion. There's this beautiful and eerie moment when she connects with an infected who is in labor. It's unsettling, it's tender, and shocking all at once. Somehow, she shows compassion even to those who are considered lost and dangerous. It challenges us to ask, are the infected really the enemy? Now, another character is Dr. Kelson. He makes the statement, so many dead, infected, and non infected alike, because they are alike. Ultimately, we all must die. For me, Kelson steals the philosophical spotlight. He's the strange, reclusive survivor with an eerie calm. He speaks Latin, builds monuments to the dead, and carries this mantra: remember death. Remember you must die. But he's not grim about it, he's reverent. And he treats the infected not with rage or brutality, but actually with morphine. He puts them to sleep rather than just destroy them. One of his most striking lines is, "There are many kinds of death. The best are peaceful, where we leave each other in love." Very poetic, and it stays with you. He also adds, "Remember, you must love." And that quote to me might just be the whole film in a sentence. The film uses also powerful imagery. There's a circle of bones, there's a newborn baby, there's a peaceful death, all to echo the idea of the cycle of life. Death isn't always the end, in some cases, it's a beginning. Now, Spike, the young boy, the main character, he goes on what I would call a primal hero's journey. Not just survival in the wilderness, but survival emotionally, learning the cost of betrayal, love, death, and forgiveness. His transformation is subtle and powerful. He begins as a child forced into violence, but ends as someone who chooses compassion and chooses himself. Now, look, after watching this, I needed to detox with a feel good rom com. I mean, my anxiety was doing cartwheels throughout this film. Now, some scenes straight up felt like a zombie video game, fast, frantic, and brutally intense. But there was one standout moment of levity, a funny exchange between Spike and a soldier named Eric, who comes from, I guess you would call, the normal world. Spike sees a picture of Eric's girlfriend, and quite frankly, she looks like someone allergic to shellfish, and that's what he told Eric because her lips were poking out. Too much surgery. Now, the theater, of course, laughed at that, and we probably all needed that laugh. But let me be clear, this film is not a comedy, of course. This is a haunting, intimate, morally complex film. And it's not just about, to me, the infected. So, should you watch 28 years later? Absolutely, if you're ready for something deep, disturbing, and thought provoking. It's not an easy watch, but it is a worthy one. And when it ends, it leaves you not just asking what happened, but you want to know the meaning behind what happened. I'm Stacey Brewer, and this has been Real Blue. If you've seen the film or just want to vent after seeing the film, be sure to leave a comment below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to love. Until next time, peace.